I thank you for letting me do this. I'm sorry of all the schedule changes and everything that's been happening.
Nah, it's partially on me as well. I be over here in my god awful sleep schedule as of late.
I mean, it's summer. Like, can you really help yourself?
What's
Um,
that?
I mean, yeah, it's summer. It's not. It's kind of hard not to just sleep in.
Yeah,
Alrighty. Well, I have some questions pulled up if you're ready.
I'm ready though. I will one may have people coming in and out, so if I suddenly mute, it might mean I'm talking to like a family member or something real quick.
All right, that's fine. Uh, so the first one is since you do SFM, how long does it usually take to like make a video or plan it out or just editing? So how long does it take to make one video, like in general?
It can widely vary. Like if it's something, let me pull up my YouTube channel so I can actually like see if I can't recall specific examples of this. Like if we take the Mimi Century one I did recently, that one technically didn't take that long. Now there's a good bit of editing after the fact involved, but overall I would say that one, if you broke it down to just me purely working on it, maybe like half a day at most. But then you got some of these other ones, like the Captain Killed My Pybo. That one took a bit, partially because of the added effort and the nonstop work I had to do for it, but also because like one of the biggest things I personally struggle with is continuing on projects after like the first day or two. Like if a project spans longer than that, I struggle to keep up with it. And so while I found Steam like a couple months later to finish that one out, it it was like it basically got stuck in limbo for several months purely because I fell out of wanting to work on it.
Yeah, and so is does SFM just make you so like frustrated sometimes when you're trying to make it, or do you just are you just like is it magical and you can do everything first try?
I wouldn't say everything first try. I don't feel like I struggle with SFM as much as some folks would. I'm not sure if it's because of just how I use it or whatnot, but like issue wise, I rarely run into anything as a like apart from like the occasional crash or whatever, but like apart from that, I don't have anything too funky going on with my animations usually.
Because like the reason why I asked is like because when I see someone like Lazy Purple trying to use it, it's nothing but just complaining about it or whatever.
Yeah. I've spoken about the whole lazy popo like say the video before where it's like I think it comes down like not I'm not like dogging at least not too much on lazy popo about it. It's like some of the things are legit like criticisms and stuff, and like stuff that I legit still use to this day, like the whole lights bleeding through the walls thing. I had no idea how you were supposed to go about fixing that, but Lazy Lily spelled out the fix for it, and thank God. I think I literally have that pinned as one of the comments. So like anytime I'm like, okay, what's the command for this? I just look up the video I pinned it to. But then other examples where it's more or less just knowledge based, where like say the whole ghost buildings bit, that was like a simple, easy fix of just enabling like the other entities thing. But like, of course, Lazy didn't know that, so it's not like I could blame him for that or like poke too much fun at him for that.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been trying to use SFM because like I've never the first time I touched it was yesterday and I just freaked out because like I don't know what any of this stuff does. The closest thing I'm used to that kind of stuff is like Blender because I was in a game design class and even then I was so confused on how to use it I just ended up giving up halfway after importing a couple of models and I usually stick to Gmod for my kind of when I'm trying to do pictures and models and whatnot.
But
Uh, the next question I have is kind of on the same page. Is how much stress does being a YouTuber come, if any, if there is any stress? Like, do you feel stressed from having deadlines, from people wanting specific things for you to do, or just ideas? So,
It it's complicated, and like I mean that in every sense of the word, where there's so many different little cogs kind of just going at different speeds. I'm constantly having to juggle. Like there's the one piece where I have to, consider, do I try to consistently put stuff out? Do I take a break? Do I do this? Do I do that? There's the actual effort, could there's the conceded effort of me trying to actually work on these animations in a timely fashion. And then there's just more external things like how uh say like the YouTube comments on Twitter. YouTube comments usually aren't that bad, but they still kind of get to me from time to time, at least with how they react to certain subjects. The
yeah.
Twitter, God, st- it's like it sucks because I've been thinking about this topic a lot lately on like say Twitter, and the only reason, the main crux of the reason why I even use Twitter nowadays is because if something goes wrong on like the YouTube channel, like what happened back in December, Twitter was my only recourse to like get YouTube's attention.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been following you on Twitter as well. So, just kind of like a side question. Um, did you gain or lose followers when you made the Mimi Century in that what's her name, the raccoon spot thing you made? I can't remember.
Jane.
Jane, yeah.
I honestly couldn't tell you. Like, I may have lost followers posting about that or whatever, but my I literally don't pay attention to analytics when it comes to Twitter. Like, I see, like, not to say that that should be expected or anything. Like, I know that a good amount of people on Twitter just can't help themselves. Like it's similar to how a YouTuber can't help it whenever like YouTube tells them, "Hey, this video did like 10 out of 10 on the score thing. You gotta bump those numbers up." And it was something that poured like months of effort into. It's like I'm not completely blind to that like fact or whatever, but at least to me, especially with how Twitter likes to treat me, I do not care. And it's hard for me to like care statistically other than just what people have to say, I guess.
Yeah, and that's a really like base thing to follow. I'm not gonna lie, to just have that kind of mentality of I'm gonna do whatever I want to do.
Yeah. It does get hard sometimes because like with you being on Twitter, I'm sure you've seen how there's some group on Twitter that like has it out for like TF2, specifically like TF2 SFM animators in particular. Like, God, you do what every other community on the internet does, but because you animated an SFM and it happens to have TF2 characters, fuck you in particular.
Yeah. Um, what was your like reasoning behind making Jane and making the Mimi Century? Was it just like as I'm gonna make it as a meme, or like was it a dare? Did so you had the idea or?
Well, for the Mimi Century, I just enjoy the character design. I just enjoy it as a thing. I don't take it to the two extremes I've seen in this where there are people like overly like clingy or going into the weird pseudo horny joke aspect of it. And then there's the other bit where it's nothing but nonstop. I want this thing destroyed. I want to tear it limb from limb. Let me make this Johnny Test hate art ass thing about it. It's like both sides of that whole thing. I'm just like, ugh, let me make something that I want to make with it. And it was just like neat little century hanging out with the whole nostalgic engineer song. That's my reasoning for the Mimi century. Jane, on the other hand, is a whole nother thing where Jane has technically been incepted for a long while before she got like her newest model, and me more or less starting to use her more and more. And it's for a multitude of reasons. One, because it was like I'm not sure if you know my friend Katieverse. They just kind of kept commissioning art of them and whatnot. And so they basically willed them into existence. And I've also
Damn.
been, I've also kind of just, I've been more or less using Jane to kind of explore the more, I don't know, I guess not safe for work side of things. Like, I don't think her design leaves much to the imagination there, but it's like, in my eyes, it was better to do something like that rather than, I don't know, fucking TF2 porn. Like,
Lord knows there's enough of that in the world. Goddamn.
eh. It's like, I don't have nothing against it. Just me personally, I don't think that's not how I'd like to get into it.
Yeah. Yeah. My next question, and it's a bit of like a, because I know you don't do face reveals much, if any. I think usually only like your older videos have had, I think, your face a couple of times.
Yeah.
And you've had a couple voice reveals. So has anyone ever recognized you in public, or if you ever go to like a, do you go to cons like TF2 Con or like game cons or whatever?
I would like to, but in the basically the past year or so, I've had a lot of financial or just stability issues going on, so I haven't been able to dedicate time or money to anything like that, unfortunately. I've only like just recently like been making a comeback essentially.
Yeah. But have you ever been recognized in public, or like anyone recognize you for your voice?
Uh, in real life or like face-to-face instances, no, and I'm not surprised by that fact. Now, if you were just to say like, I don't know, in a TF2 lobby or whatever, I've had it happen. Hell, I've had it happen in League of Legends.
What? No way. You don't just play TF2? This is insane.
Oh nah, it gets worse. I play League of Legends.
Jeez.
I don't actually like play it, or like get sweaty over it. At least not too sweaty. I do get sweaty at times, but like it's because it's a more competitive game, and I do have a bit of an like, I don't know how you would say, like gamer rage problem, I guess. It's not
Yeah.
as bad as I used to be, but like I definitely still struggle to contain my anger when things don't go my way in the video game. I mean, like, just to tell you, the only reason why I've been playing League at all is because a couple of other friends did, and I was able to mod one of the characters to be like Kiryu from Yakuza. So that's my justification.
Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty justified. I believe you're pretty. I think you're. I mean, you're decently big. You've got almost. You got like about 300,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah.
And is there ever a time, or is there just a point where you just kind of think like a subscriber goal, or like how long do you think you do YouTube before you start to like not really retire but slow down, or is there just a point where you just might stray from just doing SFM to maybe like a different niche of some sort?
Maybe. Uh, as for like, I don't see myself ever really slowing down because, or at least not intentionally. Like I've had, you'll probably see in my like if you look back through like the time between videos, there have been several points where I flat out didn't upload for months because of like how bad like, I'm not sure if I want to say explicitly depression, but definitely dark moments in like motivation, career, you know, surrounding environments, things of that nature kind of got bad. But uh with how I've been able to set myself back up recently and how I've been able to like kind of reinvigorate my drive for animing and whatnot without all these like stresses that I've had in previous years, I feel like things are going to get a lot better, not just for like, uploading, but also the quality of my videos, the how I want to move forward. Like I want to do more things. I want to be more active. I want to like do more collaborative projects and all that. It's just I'm not quite sure how to do that. Like I've been doing the more collaborative stuff with like McGinn's book with his great impressions of the TF2 books. And I've been wanting to veer more to like commentary videos or maybe just more edited oriented stuff. but it's a weird balance to try and do because it's like it's not that I don't feel like I faced the same problem as other like TF2 affiliated channels do where uh like you do TF2 content like commentaries or whatever for the longest time, and then you try to do anything else and suddenly it's a ghost town,
Yeah.
which it's a shitty phenomenon that has happened to a fair amount of TF2 content creators, unfortunately. I've been one of the ones that I feel like has been fortunate enough to not really deal with that. As you could look on my channel, some of my most popular videos literally have nothing to do with TF2. So I do consider myself pretty lucky in that regard. And I do want to do more with that and like stretch out because you see me trying it from time to time, like with some of the content I put out when
You've had a
wow.
couple clip dumps, haven't you? Of just like you in a lobby.
Yeah, like there have been, clip dumps with me just playing TF2 or just clip dumps of me and my friends playing like GTA for the hell of it. Like those videos are always fun. It's,
Yeah. Yeah, I think like your most viewed video is the Mr. Squidward, right?
yeah.
How do you feel about that? Are you proud of it? Are you ashamed? Is this like is it mixed?
I think it's all right. The animation could be better, but like it's a 6 second clip with it's a pretty straightforward punchline. It being animated, I feel bears little on the actual punchline, but it's like it being as big as it is or whatever. It's like I don't mind it. I mean,
Yeah.
the funniest thing about well, there's two funny things about it. A, when people go, "Wait, you made that?" And B, because of this particular combination of my two most popular videos, when you connect the titles
Oh
together.
yeah. I remember that. I remember you posted on like your Twitter or some shit like that. That's funny, bro.
D- uh, I I don't know what I'm with the God like made this possible, but I love it.
Yeah, it's just, man, it's like I think it's a mindset thing where it's just you see a title that says balls and you're just like, I gotta click it, man.
I'm so damn proud of that. It used to be like 3 million, now it's almost at 5 million, and I will always be proud of it. That video right there just spells out like you could do anything and still like be successful.
Yeah. So you heard it. You heard it right here, folks. Just title your video balls, and the views just roll in.
I wouldn't say that, but it's like
No.
I went live. I said that having a video called Balls with nearly 5 million views ain't something I'm severely proud of.
Yeah. You know, how long did it take you even to make that one? Like a day, half a day, or like?
For the balls one in particular, I would say it took like maybe a couple hours, mainly because like obviously sands and like the realistic sands took like 2 minutes. Not actually, but relative time. It took way less time to animate him or quote unquote animate in comparison to like Papyrus and his movements, especially when like you know just it's just animating him all smooth like and everything, and then Sans is just stagnant or static.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it funnier.
Indeed. See, like this video is would probably be one of the ones I wouldn't mind be like the number one because it's like me animating it like this also accentuated the punchline a bit more than it just being this but with 3D models.
Yeah. How long have you been with SFM? Like, have you been with it since it came out, or was it just like, yeah, like what kind of got you into doing SFM?
I didn't really get too hard into SFM until around mid to late 2020, believe it or not. Like, I'm not sure if people remember this, but uh, my channel originally used to be like more editing, just centric, or mostly based around edits more than anything. I mean, like, you still got me doing the occasional like green screening and for like I don't know, spy doing the engineer time and whatnot. Obviously, the further back you go, the more yeesh my quality gets. But it's like it's because it's old, and because I was more still editing than animating, and then I started animating, and then I started animating more. And it's like the gradual shift from editing to just animations is funny to see and looking back on it.
Yeah. And I think I don't know if it was you. Did you ever do you know Life Arrow?
Oh, very much so.
And I'm guessing because I think you've animated for a few of his videos, haven't you? Like a few of the bits that they've done, you've animated them.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I've been featured in almost or most of his recent stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see, the UMVC 3, the Shadow the Hedgehog one. Let's see.
I know a lot of their shenanigans ones.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of his. I think I've been featured in like just a lot of his more recent ones.
How does that work? Does he just reach out to you and you just like, hey, I need you to do this for me, and you're like, I got you.
Basically, yeah.
That must have been like that must be pretty proud getting your stuff out there on other people's videos. Being able to be like, hey, I can do other than just my own stuff.
Yeah, I do really. Uh, I really like anime like that, like that clips, like, because it's just most of the time pretty funny audio material. Gives me a lot to work with, especially if it's like the Left 4 Dead video where I'm basically able to take Lee's like attitude and everything, and then try to apply it to like, okay, how would Deadpool do this?
Yeah.
He does things like going off screen and then on screen at a different point. He's pulling out comics out of thin air. The Deadpool shit.
Which I think is really nice that you actually put thought into this. This isn't just like it's not just a job to you. It's something you actually have fun doing, which is I think not really a problem. It's a thing I see with a few YouTubers where instead of seeing it as something fun and something to do with your community and everything, you end up just taking it way too seriously.
Yeah.
But
That-
that's the thing I see with you and Shork and a lot of other TFTubers and just YouTubers in general is that they actually have fun with what they do.
yeah. I feel like that's the craziest thing to me is that how some people can actually just uh, like that do just take it like straight serious. That they have no fun. Like they treat it like a 9 to 5 or something. It's like how can you do that?
Yeah.
Because like that's why I'm doing YouTube right now. Like big thing. I love creating content, and animation was one of my dreams. And becoming a YouTuber is what allowed me to really get into it, practice it, and become what I am now. So, and the other half of it being to escape the god awful like workforce. Because at least in my case, like it wasn't detrimental or anything, but it was like life. It really got to the point where I'm like, life really ain't worth living like this. Because I was basically being pushed to my limit every other week, working at like a Walmart. Because unfortunately, I ain't that big. I'm not that big bone. I think I barely cut it like above 100 pounds or something. And so I fucking like I literally physically could barely keep up in the day to day, and it made me depressed all hell. So like I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna take the leap to becoming a YouTuber because I'd rather try my damnedest to go into something where I at least have a clue, I have an idea, It's like by this point, I've been shadow watching and keeping track of YouTube stuff for like 10 years at this point, like actively watching and keeping mental note of stuff. So I'm like, I'd rather take my chances with this and turn it into something that I could be proud of than like slave away and like mentally deteriorate in some dead end job.
Yeah, and I mean, was there any like YouTubers or people that that like gave you more um, what's the word? Like more motivation to do this? Like, was there who did you mainly watch that made you like I could do this? I have I can learn SFM. I can do this knowledge, and I can actually make something of this.
Trying to think. Like for main inspirations from a lot of what I do, obviously has to go to like KDO 706. You know, funny animations, great stuff. And it was, as I said with in another interview, the seeds were planted, and now they flourish. But as for back in the time, nothing really directly influenced me. Like it was near the beginning of my, back in my editing phase where I was just editing uh deluxe heaviest dead video like over and over and over again. Then I learned my lesson of not sticking to one thing, and then started mixing things up. It I I I, I would have to say for my YouTube career, never nothing really directly inspired me. Not, or maybe not like something I could directly recall. Is because it was just me making things, having fun with it, and over time getting better at my craft, whether it be on the editing side or animation side or something in between. I feel like the journey was the funnest part for the most part.
Yeah, and it's I've watched you for a while. I think I started watching you more around when COVID hit because I was starting to get into a lot of the TF2 stuff back then. Um,
Mhm.
and because you've been doing a lot of this, how many like other TF2bers do you know? Like I know Shork. Like how did you come to meet them? Was it just they hit you up, or you just reach out to them to do collabs, or like what?
I can't recall whenever we first like interacted and stuff. Uh, I know it's we. Hmm, I'm very much trying to recall because Shark is way, at least in my eyes, like way. Uh, Sorry about Discord died.
Yeah, Discord's been having trouble lately. I don't know if you saw it earlier, but everything was lagging because apparently they've been trying to take away some part of Nitro, and it just destroyed Discord entirely.
Yeah, but okay. So back to what I was saying with Shark. Uh, I can't remember exactly when we like met and all that, but I know we worked together for a while now. Like not as much in recent times, mainly because I'm sure he's been busy with all his own plans and stuff, and me and my own. But at one point we were like collaborating. Like he would edit some of my more longer videos because I would get sponsorship offers, and then I'd split it half and half with them. You know, not bad stuff back then, though. I think it only happened like a couple times, and nowadays for whatever reason it feels like I've been blacklisted from getting sponsorship offers. So that well's all dried up, I guess. But I guess like thank God for light thorough commissions.
Alrighty. Well, I guess one of my final questions should be when you started to see yourself like grow. Like how are you feeling whenever you started seeing you becoming a bigger creator? Like what was the milestone where you found out that I can actually become something?
I'm not sure, cause I feel like for the most part of my career, as well as like to a lesser extent, obviously, but still, I would say present to an extent. I've always had, I'd say it had to have started around like 100K, where I started to see people with exceptional like animation skills, qualities, and everything, and then now you get like a fraction of the attention like I've been getting even in like recent years, and I always got like a good bit of imposter syndrome from the whole affair,
Yeah.
and but after a while I started to just I started to harden a bit. I started to you know as well as just with other things in general, not just like with that subject. I started to just be like, all right, I'm gonna focus on my stuff, me, and how I run things, and and all that good stuff. Like obviously, still be nice and do good where I can, but like I started to stop just worrying about things that was out of my control and all that.
Yeah.
Like it took me a long while to really come to terms with that, because I'm the type of person that likes to be fair and square with everyone, and seek fair grounds for all, which is probably what stemmed a lot of my uh imposter syndrome feelings from. But after a while, I started to be like, okay, instead of sitting here obsessing over, say, all these other people not getting the same opportunity I did and wasting that opportunity, let me take this opportunity I've been given and make it something worthwhile.
Yeah. Which I mean, the way you were back, you joined back in like what 2018 ish, right? And over these few years, you've grown exponentially, and I can't. I wish to be as big as that one day. I'm only joined just recently, and I'm just trying to do the best. That's why I'm doing this project.
Yeah.
I've got you and Shork and a couple others that I've been really excited to interview. So, and I thank you for doing this. Taking the time to do this. And I really do need to thank Shork for getting me in contact with you. Um, but yeah, I think I hope you have a great day. Thank you again for doing this. I guess I mean I don't know if you want, but when I finally finish this project, if you want to see it and see what I've done.
I would not mind seeing it at all.
All right. Well,
Interested to see what you got cooking.
yeah, I've got a couple people that like I've got someone to interview tomorrow, another one for Tuesday, and another one for Wednesday. So my week is booked.
Ooh, you got everything, but,
Yeah, and
like,
I had no idea this was gonna happen. I cold called like over 15 to 20 YouTubers, and I finally got a few to actually respond, which is insane.
yeah. I feel like the biggest thing is that some people, like, all it takes is just asking. It's like I know I've had people like hit me up in Twitter DMs in the past, and I've thought about it, even tried replying to us as some, but like in my particular circumstance, it's like I'd get like halfway through typing or whatever, and then get distracted by something, and then forget to reply. Either that, or like my response would just become so convoluted and complex, and like I get too hung up about certain details. I just, it's like, forget it.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I remember I did, I don't know if you ever checked, but I DM'd you a while back on Twitter because I didn't know your Discord or anything. So
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see because you have to remember that, especially nowadays, Twitter bots have been getting bad, as well as just I don't have that many savory folks in my DMs these days.
yeah, so like you just get overflowed with everything.
I, it's like it's like on one hand, it's Twitter. Twitter just does not notify me whenever I get anything DM related. There's that. And then it's also just me not wanting to check DMs. Like I'm actively like just if I don't have to, I don't really look there. I check there occasionally to see if there's anything new, but 9 times out of 10, it's either a bot, some person asking a question I don't really feel too inclined to respond to, or some guy being an asshole and calling me like an N-word or something.
Damn. TF2 community, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess finally, I will. I guess I mean I'll let you go. I thank you for taking your time out today. I hope you have fun with your family today and everything. And
Thank you, thank you.
thank you for dealing with my BS of trying to get this whole schedule to work out.
Nah, it's all good. We would have had this done way earlier had I had a proper sleep schedule. It's all good.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, man, you have a good day.
Okay, you have a good one.
Alrighty.